Zapatero. ¡Oh! Pues igual que yo. Zapatero. ¡Oh! Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted? ¡Oh! Zapatero. ¡Oh! Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted? ¡Oh!
Walker told me I had AIDS.
Have I had deep dish?
Pizza.
What's Pizza Hut? Is Pizza Hut deep dish pizza?
Well, guess what? I'm not gonna say top of the morning.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Shit, I said it. Guten Tag. Willkommen.
It is Thursday, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed
Yes.
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty. Oh, I remember when we lived in the city.
This is on the wrong
Well,
side.
back in the day
I just
when
gotta-
we lived in the city.
when
and
we were city dwelling
yeah, when
folk.
we were city dwellers. Oh, it's making it so dark in
Yeah.
here, though. Okay. When we were city dwellers, we would go to Thirsty Thursdays at the Thirsty Scholar.
Yeah, there's a place called that. Well, when I was a college dwelling lad, it was what was it called before the Thirsty?
I don't know
Scholar?
because I didn't go to university in Saskatoon. I went to university in
Maguire's.
Lethbridge, Alberta.
It was
Which
called Maguire.
that was a choice that I made.
So did Silly Hat Man, though.
Yeah.
Violetta, it's lovely to see you. I'm so glad that you survived what sounds like an insane
Yeah.
bout of
Can
weather.
we look up this? Look up the storm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Google
I
it
think
here and
you
see
spelled
what's up.
Slovenia wrong.
Yeah, but see, in the advent of
The internet.
the internet, yeah.
It knows
So
what you
this
meant?
is 5 days ago. Is that accurate? When did this happen? Wasn't it yesterday? Yeah, it would be this.
Drizzle.
Trizzle. Oh, I didn't add that one back, I don't think, Trizzle. I did just add the goat because you're the greatest of all time.
Zapatero. ¡Oh! Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted?
It might
¿Qué
not
opina
be
usted?
recorded on yet. Like if it was just happening, right?
Yeah, let me, so...
No, but that was when it was happening. What's the day today?
it's
like
the 27th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A week ago, or 5 days ago, it was 3 days of hell.
Holy shit.
So this is Violetta informed us that they're from the Slovenia region, and they were experiencing a ridiculous storm over the last couple of days. The wind at 150 kilometers an hour hit the
famous
Croatia, Slovenia area. Hello, Philip Torkington. Isn't it the Baltic region? Is that what they call it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I may have just glanced that from the YouTube search, but...
Yikes.
Oh, that's actually... Oh! Uprooting trees! How are these cameras staying in place?
Holy shit, that's a roof.
Oh my god. It's just raining down debris.
Holy shit.
This is an 8-minute video. This is an 8-minute video of just...
Did you see that?
I don't know if I
Big
did.
shit fell over. I don't know. It was weird.
Went backward.
That's fine. Balkans.
The Balkans.
That's a huge crane.
That's bad. Daggum pulled that daggum tree right out of the daggum ground. I done did declare. How are you, Trizzle, Philip, and Violetta? Was it like this where you were? 3 days of hell?
Yeah, that's. I would assume this is very what she was encountering.
It's so strange because it's been actually relatively where we are.
nice.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was kind of warm, but
Yeah.
not like,
Well, the hottest.
oh my god.
I think the hottest it got was 31 degrees Celsius.
It
yeah,
was
it
a
was a crane.
crane.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Okay, I don't mean to be insensitive, but that is a poor outfit. To be walking around in this hurricane. Yeah, they were probably out for supper and then it just like hit or something. You gotta be wearing them hip waders right up to your nipples.
That is-
Oh.
It's weird that it hasn't been in like the news whatsoever.
Oh!
That's like the
That's coming in
scene
from the upstairs.
James Cameron's Titanic.
Wow. Yeah, see, the weird thing is like, I mean, I look at the news, right?
Yeah. This has not
And
been mentioned
it
in
has
our
not,
news whatsoever.
I mean, they talk about, I mean, maybe it just doesn't pitch it to me. Maybe
Yeah.
that's
it, more of the crane. Holy shit.
I feel like this should be represented more than just local news.
Absolutely.
Oh, it happened in minutes.
The storm caused traffic disruption, power outages, and road blockages due to fallen trees.
I've always found the fascinating thing about water is it's you know, the life essence that we need, as our bodies are primarily water. But it's also such a devastating force,
Yeah,
right?
so destructive.
Like trying to
Well, it just reminds you that, like, if the Earth really wants to reclaim itself, it will.
yeah, it could the earth could reclaim itself from humans in like a week.
Like
Not
when
even.
I went to Israel back in 2008 with my university on an archaeological dig, and I had to sign. We all we had like insurance, and there was a clause in the insurance that we could not sue over acts of God.
Yeah, I know that.
Which is like, okay.
I know that acts of God is a thing that
It's like weather, extreme weather. So like if something like this were to happen and like one of us were to be like severely injured or die in weather like this would be considered an act of God and you couldn't sue over it.
Yeah. Look at the size of hail in Italy.
19 centimeters? Holy shit. That's like that.
10 hours ago, giant Italy hail
Hail is so
Giant
scary.
Italy hail sets European record twice in 5 days.
A devastation.
Remember a few years ago when there was that really bad hailstorm here in Saskatchewan? I had a coworker friend. They were out camping and they got caught in it, and it just destroyed like all of the windows on their vehicles and like tore like siding off. Yeah.
Of hail, that's what an Italian regional president called a recent storm. More than 100 people were injured by hailstones across 4 provinces, according to local media. Veneto President Luca Zaia said hailstones reached nearly 4 inches in diameter and declared a state of emergency in response.
4 inches.
Photos from the region showed considerable damage caused by the large hailstones. Local officials from affected towns are working together on recovery efforts.
Holy Dinah.
Yeah, hail will kill you if you get hit in the right side.
Oh, absolutely. It's basically like a off X in your bullshit. Hate clicking on things that happen to be tweets or X's now, because then I have to be reminded about shithead. Speaking of which, you know what? Let's just actually segue into that perfectly. It's a good segue for an article I found about Felon Nuts. Felon Nuts swipes coveted X handle from a Twitter user, offering only some merch and a meeting with execs as compensation. So, just to add to the blunder of...
I would tell him to get fucked if it were me.
I read this article and now it's telling me...
Oh, no, you have to pay for it? You gotta read it once for free?
Elon swipes X
account.
Let's find a non-paywall version. Yahoo Finance!
We might have to look at some weird commercials or ads on the side, but it'll be free.
Yeah. Felon Nuts. Gene Huang hoped he might have hit it big when Elon Musk rebranded Twitter as X. Known on the platform by his single-letter handle @X, the San Francisco-based user was willing to discuss ceding the control of the account over to the platform's owner for a price. I would sell if approached, I think. Guess it depends on the offer. So a lot of Twitter users also held out hope that he could cash in on this, right? Because it's not his, like Elon Musk, it just obviously didn't make any plans, trying to take down the sign without permits. He changed it without even like being able to. It'd be like if somebody had Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg was like, oh, can't have the thing that I know. But there was one user claim that they were offered $50,000 just for the @N account that someone had.
@N?
Yeah. So basically what it turns out is that no compensation was offered, at least none in a financial sense. The company did offer the photographer a chance to meet with the very same management team that unceremoniously booted him from the account he has used for a decade. Who could say no to that? Musk's X is also willing to throw in some free merch with a Unicode X on it. That is just unpatentable for merch. Like, I could give it to him.
Jason says you can't tell him to get fucked. You have no rights to your Twitter handle. He can legally take it all he wants.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, absolutely. But it's as, who was it that explained it this way? Elon Musk is the kid who comes to play with everybody else in the community with his football and then says, I'm leaving and I'm taking the football with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's a spoiled...
He's the rich kid with the power glove.
Yeah, exactly. He's a spoiled, rich baby who doesn't do well with the word no.
Yeah. Violetta, you gotta start vacation tomorrow. That's exciting.
14-day vacation. What do you
Well,
have
not tomorrow,
planned?
but after tomorrow.
Some anime?
Anime and games.
Maybe bucketing water out of several basements that may be flooded from a giant storm.
I do have to ask, what is your favorite game? We enjoy Stardew, which we haven't Stardewed in a while, but we are Stardewers.
Oh yeah, no, we haven't. Sorry, I got distracted by Jason's comment.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think any of your viewers need to be convinced he's a piece of
No,
shit.
yeah.
No, absolutely. We don't. It's more like watching, like, I don't know, Lex Luthor come to be. You know what I mean?
The
like
villain creation story.
It's like in like 10 years they're gonna look back and be like, well, he obviously became a supervillain because everybody made fun of it.
People can use us on YouTube as a primary source of the fall of Elon Musk.
Playing games and anime. Do you have believe it or not, and certain people like Pluviophilian and Philip might detest, but I've played video games, as it were, on the Twitch.
Video games?
I used to play the video games. I'm not a hardcore gamer, but we like to game. We did some Stardew. We got like 2 million. 2 million bucks.
We're pretty rich on Stardew. We made the good jelly.
Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, I thought about taking a couple days off. Final Fantasy 14. I think I stopped Final Fantasy N was the last one that I played.
I never really played Final.
I think Kickball was the last thing that I could do, or whatever it was called.
I know my niece loves Final Fantasy. When she was a kid, her favorite song was like Zozo's theme song.
I do play Genshin Impact, Jason. So I haven't played it a lot lately, but I have. I played those what was that hard NES game I played that your brother was like, I can't believe you're playing it. Chrysalis or something?
Yeah,
Chrysalis?
Yeah.
It was hard and I beat it.
He did.
I beat Wife
him.
Quest. I beat freaking Wife Quest.
He has game skills. He just does it in private.
I'm not good at streaming while gaming because of my ADHD.
Yeah.
I care too much about what you guys are saying in chat that I'm like only half focusing on the game.
Yeah.
Just like in the last episode of Dragon Ball that we watched, where Goku had to climb this tower to learn to train by this cat.
Yeah.
You know, he needed to focus to increase his strength. And our main point in watching about 60 episodes is it was called Dragon Ball because they show Goku's little animated ball sack all the time.
There's a lot of little ball.
It's like at least 80% of the episodes
say
have at least
80.
one animated ball sack.
No, that's an overestimation for sure. But there is
75.
definitely a decent, like, probably once every 3 episodes, and for like, maybe like 30 seconds you see little
the
Goku
swimming
going.
what? Remember the swimming
yeah,
one?
you see like straight up like scrotum shot.
It's we've decided that because Goku isn't inherently, say, an average human, and he is of pure mind and not a pervert like Master Roshi, that it's not as weird as it could be. But my mind just goes to like you think that the people that made 150 some episodes would maybe be like, oh yeah, no, we
don't need to do this angle.
Yeah, like if someone put a compilation together and was like, look how many times you drew animated ding dongs, and they were like, oh shit, that is a lot. Final Fantasy 14 is the online, or the massive online one that Rat Nando plays. There's so much. I mean, it just gets the storyline gets so intense that it's too much.
Video games have gotten too much for me. Like, I really like Pokemon, but like Pokemon for my DS, or my 3DS.
I like MMORPG and then Switch when I get. See, Genshin is like the only thing I've played that has like those types of MMO characteristics, but it's still not really. I don't utilize them. I don't play with other people. I don't let people into my world. I just play by myself.
Yeah.
Cuz I don't know. I'm not big on I like local multiplayer, like Mario Kart like against Krissy or like my friends or Super Smash Bros. I'm not really big into like I don't like going to Walmart or Costco when there's too many people, and when I start like say I think Dauntless was a game I tried to play or something. And as soon as it loaded, I'm like in a city with like a million other people running around. I'm like, I'm getting virtual anxiety. I finished the story. It's grind.
Yeah, I enjoy like when I play Pokemon, just going and like grinding. And see, that's also why I would never want to play Pokemon online, because I like to be boring with it, and I just don't want to make people watch that. Nor would I, as somebody watching stuff, want to watch that. I just want to, like, play it myself. I just want to go grind.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't want to talk to
like,
people.
Krissy was playing Pokemon, and it was actually just serendipitously around the time that the new Pokemon had come out. And so on Twitch, a lot of people were playing different types of Pokemon. And I was like, you should play it online, or you should play it on stream. People like watching grinding for some reason. And she's like, I just couldn't.
No,
you know what I mean?
I just can't.
Some games are fun co-op when you have friends to play with. See, Jason, that's why I assumed that you had a child, so you could force them to play video games with you. Final 14 does a good job of making it feel single player. Well, that's good. I don't really like that. If you don't have internet access, you can't play it. There is a whole, we've obviously a lot of, I don't know, that's the crux, because I also don't like just owning a shitload of physical things, right? Like, I don't want to, I like having like 1,000 Super Nintendo ROMs available, as opposed to 1,000 physical cartridges, but it's tough, because I do think 1,000 physical cartridges would look cool. I'd love to have a video game museum, but it's a lot of stuff. We're not really people who have a lot of stuff things.
We live in a 10-foot by 10-foot shed. There is not a lot of room for things.
There isn't a lot of room for things. I did play ESO with my kid for a bit. Is it weird playing games with your kid? Like, did you try to tell them what to do in the game? Or were they like the parent, where they're like, no, Dad, you gotta mine gold before you can make that? And you're like, well, I'm a dad, I don't know these things. Or were you like, no, come over here, we're going hunting, and then we can... Not really. Or were you like, just come back by 7 p.m. and everything will be fine. We'll catch up around the dinner table. I don't know why that just in my head, it just struck the thought of what is average supper time for most people growing up. Mine was 5 p.m.
Yeah, so was ours. 5.
But a lot of people find that strange. So like 5 p.m.
That's early.
What about
for a lot
6
of people.
p.m. or 7 p.m.?
Well, I think it's in Europe they tend to eat supper quite
I'm
late.
usually in charge.
Because I think in England, don't you have like afternoon tea, which is like usually around 4 o'clock or something, and it's just basically like afternoon snack.
Tea and wampus?
See, in my family's Mennonite, and we have our own snack culture, and we have something called faspa, which is a night snack, and it's usually a bun with cheese and meat and pickles.
Which is it's classic.
Yeah, classic faspa.
Just classic
Yeah.
FASPA.
Classic faspa.
Not that I necessarily know how to spell FASPA.
FASPA. Faspa.
FASPA.
Faspa.
So before we get into the alien, I figured I would show you guys an intruder, an invader of sorts that you would probably have to be more on guard for than aliens at the moment.
Yeah, Violetta, supper is up around 7 to 8.
What time do you go to bed? It's too late.
Yeah. We're like around 7 to 8 is when we're like, oh, better shower and put on pajamas.
Yeah.
We're such old people.
I
But
gotta take me pills.
I have heard that's another thing about European culture that's very different than North American culture is they have more like of a nightlife, whereas like North American culture so revolves around like the 9 to 5 workplace and like being at home taking care of your like children and getting them in bed by like 9 o'clock that we like really handcuff ourselves to like not going out. Like I've heard in Spain it's really common to
just
like
take your kids with you.
yeah, you go out for coffee at 9 o'clock at night and you just let your kids sleep in the bassinet while you're out.
Le bassonette.
And we're just like, no, we must be at home, strict bedtime, and that child must be in bed by like 9 o'clock.
Here too.
Yeah, and yeah, it's very different in North America for that. for some
Yeah,
reason.
maybe, I don't know. That's just kind of, I know that the way that we segmented our day wasn't how a lot of places do,
Oh yeah, no.
but
The North American lifestyle is very much revolved around the fact that your life is like you're a slave to work. Like think of like the old like the union towns in the States where like you live the city
or
you live
company
in.
towns.
Yeah, company towns. Like
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
the city you live in is literally built around the company that you work for. And sometimes even in these like, you know, places that revolve around mines, they were paid in a currency that you could only use in your like company town or like your like company store. And so like in that way you're very much like a slave to
the area.
To the area.
It's kind of that classic, you can't leave because if you leave you won't have anything.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, I think we encountered that problem as soon as there was metal concert at midnight. People bring kids and babies.
Yeah, that would never happen here. Here in North America, you would be viewed as such an irresponsible parent for doing such a thing.
I think the only irresponsible parents I've seen, well, I shouldn't say the only, but I went to a monster truck rally indoors.
Yeah.
And there were kids there, little kids, and I was like, they are getting such oxygen deficiency from the exhaust
The
fumes.
fumes, oh my god.
And it was so loud, I almost wanted to try and put in double earplugs. I was like, they should not be here.
But I think like that's a much more normal way to live what they're doing than what we're doing over here. Like over here, I think it causes so much I think it definitely causes like a level of mental anxiety in people because you really don't feel like you're in charge of your life whatsoever. Like your life is not lived for you. It's very much like for your children and your job.
You exist as means to provide something.
Yeah.
Like the UPS workers just, you know, signed a historic deal, I guess, with UPS, which is still basically what they got. It's not necessarily complete financial reimbursement that they wanted. There were things like, you know, healthcare and, I don't know, putting air conditioning units back in their trucks.
Yeah.
You know, like human,
like things that make life like much more comfortable to do your job.
so they're like, to think about that in 2023, that there's still groups of people that are vitally important to the movement of packages in a more increasingly order online world. They're still fighting for things like air conditioning that was taken out of their trucks, and the companies can say, it's not going to be useful because it's a big truck and the doors are usually open. The one guy took a thermometer into the back of his truck. I can't remember. We seen it in a Hassan video.
Yeah.
And it was like 150 degrees Fahrenheit in the back of the truck because it's a giant metal box. And it's like, so as far as we've come with, you know, trying to say that everyone is special, we still allow a group above us to go, no, you're just the ants in the colony. So it's interesting. And unions are really the only time that the ants get to say,
Yeah.
this isn't fair. We're doing everything and you're just making more money. But, you know, on a brighter note, if you leave your room, you may come back to a visitor. And that Just like this guy. Just like this guy. Peter had just finished getting the room that he had moved into set up, and he was feeling pretty good. Stepped out for like 5 minutes, and he came back, and there was a cat sitting in his trash bin.
It's so perfect.
The thing is it's not his cat. He'd only been gone for about 5 minutes and realized that the cat must have snuck in through the window. After a little bit of investigation, he figured out the cat's name was Zuko, and he actually belonged to the landlord, who also lived on the property. And apparently this was his hangout spot, and the landlord didn't consult Zuko before renting it out.
Yeah, the cat was like, will never be your room. This is my room.
I just thought it was so funny. Just could you imagine coming back just like, did I bring this? Was this here? So apparently the room used to belong to Zuko, so the landlord rented it out without asking for permission. Peter's mom, Judith, Judit, who was, oh, sorry, that's who told the dodo. What a funny cat. Just like, I don't know what it is about that picture that just, it's so cat. It's 100% cat.
It's very cat.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter though, because he's got a lock. He keeps trying to sneak in, so my son locks his bedroom at night because he goes to work early and doesn't want to lock him in accidentally. Gonna lurk for a bit, feeling super tired. Well, yeah, no problem, Philip. I hope you're doing all right.
Violetta, I would love to listen to that song.
There's a song, How Most Europe Sees America. Can I post it in Discord? Absolutely. As long as we're not, whatever. Even if we get in trouble, it'll tell me to strip it out. Our Manchester logo is the worker bee. Yeah, we actually were listening to something about how talking about unions is perceived in the USA versus the UK. And the UK takes it like it's like a swear word almost. Unions? To mention, yeah. That's what that video that we were watching was talking about. Oh. I would share my room with Zuko, no problem.
I would also share.
The one thing I do gotta do though is use the restroom. So I think I'm gonna hit the be right back button for a minute while we de-coffee, and we will be right back. You can look at Jinjee. We are back.
We're
Jinjee-
still...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're not muted anymore.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Jinjee provided you guys a little distraction. Let me just bring up Le Discord, the Shedheads. Democracy Manifest. America, fuck yeah. Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah. We got here, Violetta. It's time to rock out. So, according to Violetta, this is
How Americans are viewed in Europe.
Yes. People make fun. We really do. See
I
American
believe
people like
this.
As we will provide our Canadian context to this, because we are, we struggle to have our own identity from our
we're
neighbors
like,
to the
no,
south.
we're not like them. We're different. Meh.
Poutine. We have poutine.
Yeah,
Have you
we have
seen it?
poutine and duotang.
We have fries and gravy
and puff wheat
and
squares
cheese.
and other random shit.
This is the coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Go lick my butt. The problem here, I gotta actually play the proper
So lick my dick and suck on my balls.
yeah, we have to have this GIF playing in
Oh,
the
yeah.
background. I linked it right here. Oh. Okay, here.
What you gonna do when we come for you now? It's the dream that we all share. It's the hope for tomorrow.
Frickin' Team America.
Such a great movie.
It's so good. Yeah, that's a good one. Team America,
Team America World Police, one of the best movies ever
I
made.
mean, it's the most accurate depiction of how
America
the
is.
world is policed.
Yeah. And how America is.
America.
So as
Is that what this
Canadians,
one
is that
is?
how we view Americans? A little bit, yeah. We do,
Yeah, it's pretty
Sorry about that.
close.
Sorry.
What was the one that Jason, why does yours says it might not be appropriate for some people? It has the F word in it. Fuck yeah.
Might say, so lick my dick and suck on my balls.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess that may be considered inappropriate.
Yeah.
I understand. I wish to proceed. Yeah. It's so good. See, the nice thing though is a lot of Americans can make fun of themselves.
I think also a lot of Americans view America like that.
Yeah, like Canada, we make fun of Canadians as much as we make fun of Americans.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a big thing where provincially, I'm sure state-wise they do it, but like Silly Hat Man is from the province right next to us,
Yeah.
and we make fun of him and he makes fun of us.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of interesting like that. Some places take it really seriously though, like all of Canada makes fun of Quebec, but Quebec has no sense of humor about themselves. They get
That's true.
really mad.
Wait, isn't one of our friends from Quebec?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like,
I'm pretty sure
Happy
Scroll
Mask?
Lock is in Quebec and Happy Mask
Yeah.
is in Ontario.
Oh, sorry.
The one thing we can say about the US of A is they've been lying to us.
Is that a surprise?
They got alien bodies. Bodies of aliens, potentially. Or, sorry, bodies of biologics. Or, as in Quebec, they would say biologics.
Biologique.
Biology. So, I just found an article that has kind of the key takeaways from that U.S. congressional hearing about UFOs, or what do they call them? UAEs? Unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. So, as Congress pursues the study of mysterious things, retired U.S. whistleblower reveals alleged government cover-ups and brutal retaliation tactics. So, there's Ryan Graves, which is this guy. David Grush. So Ryan Graves is an executive director of Americans for Space Aero Travel. David Grush is a former National Reconnaissance Officer, representative of the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Task Force.
I don't know how much I trust
at
this
the
article
U.S. Department of
because
Defense.
they wrote national and not national. Former national reconnaissance officer.
I mean, it's an Al Jazeera article, but I mean, the points in it are just kind of the oversight.
If AI is going to be taking over our writing, they better spell shit right.
What if AI just includes little spelling issues in things once in a while?
To make
and if you add those all up, it spells like, help me, I'm alive.
Yes, yeah. I'm a prisoner to the system.
The U.S. Congress, the other person is David Fravor. He's actually the one from those Tic Tac videos, talking about how they were, flying at trajectories and speeds that are unachievable by traditional flight. So the U.S. Congress held a public hearing on claims that the government was concealing a long-standing program that retrieves and reverse engineers alien spaceships.
Ooh, alien spaceships.
So some of the things that they said were, they get a little out there. Yeah. Like this gentleman here, Grush.
No, it was the one of those vehicles that runs on the train tracks.
Oh, yes. He said some things that starts to pull you guys a little bit away, pull you away from the believability of it. Where, they start talking about things in quite assured details that they're authentically real, so it kind of pushes that thing where everybody's like, so.
Because, here's my thing. I will never talk assuredly about anything I've experienced.
Well, you can't, anyone who says they know about religion and the future and blah, blah, blah. Nobody knows.
Although, I guess I have had ghost experiences that I would talk very assuredly. So...
But to say that you would say a ghost is definitely a spirit and not
I don't know what it is.
Representative energy of something.
Yeah.
It
makes me believe that there has to be something beyond this.
You believe that
there's energy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had definite ghost experiences. I don't know what the hell it means, but I know for sure that they happened.
But these guys are sure. They're sure. The alleged cover-up is that retired Major David Grush, one of the veterans who testified on Wednesday, said he was asked in 2019 by the head of a government task force on UFOs or UAPs to identify all highly classified programs relating to the task force missions. At the time, Grush was detailed to the National Reconnaissance Office, the agency that operates the U.S. spy satellites. I was formed in the course of my official duties of the multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program to which I was denied access. When asked whether the U.S. government had information about extraterrestrial life, Grush said the U.S. has been aware of non-human activity since the 1930s. The U.S. Representative Tim Burchett supported the idea that the government was concealing information, saying at the opening of the hearing, which also featured testimony from two former Navy officers who witnessed the UAPs, that we're going to uncover the cover-up. I mean, this is kind of being...
Haven't they talked... I remember us watching some person, and they were talking about, when aliens first invade, it's not actually going to be aliens. It's going to be some sort of like
Pretend.
pretend government thing to get you used to the idea of it, so that when aliens like do actually show up, that they like have already kind of controlled like the, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I can't remember what it was, but somebody said
I
like
believe it necessarily.
when you hear that aliens are coming to take over, be suspicious of the people, like your own species, type of thing. Because I mean, it's kind of like that. What did they say? Certain science is indistinguishable from magic, or something like that.
Well, it's something like until it can be scientifically proven that science is indistinguishable from magic, or like until it's understood. It's something like that.
But the Pentagon has denied the things that Grush has said about the cover-up, because I mean, you're not going to come out and be like, yeah, okay, we have been lying for 100 years almost.
Well, yeah.
They have not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate the claims of the programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials that have existed past or currently. Apparently, though, they were saying, you know, people who have come out about this from the circle of, what do you call them, believers, experiencers.
Oh, yeah.
The people who have come forth is that they have been retaliated against by non-human entities and human entities for coming forth to break cover up. There was a lot of things that they said, well, we can't talk about this in the open forum.
Yeah.
We can, but I can gladly give you those details in a non-open forum. But the interesting part of it is they asked him specifically, do we have alien aircraft? And he said, I can't answer that question. But then when they said, have we retrieved crashed aircraft? He said, yes. And they said, was there anything in the spacecraft? And he said, non-human biologics. And they're like, what? So he wouldn't specifically say that they have reverse engineered craft, but he kind of said there's non-human bodies that were recovered. So everyone was like, what the fuck?
I like your question, Violetta, and that's also why District 9 is one of the best sci-fi movies ever, is because they have like the aliens show up in South Africa rather than America. And that is one thing about, like, it seems like the talk about UFOs is highly nationalistic around the States. But I do also have to wonder, to that extent, is it because like I doubt that, like, I don't know how much like the governments in African countries are really taking stock or like account of it, right? So that might be part, like maybe they are, but like
there is that one story, remember?
Oh yeah,
about an entire school of children in Africa that drew
aliens, like spaceships and shit. So yeah, they're like, but so it has to do with, I think, maybe how much it's reported on in the news.
I actually believe too that MUFON or whatever, it's like a site that they track, like if you see an alien, you report it to this like MUFON agent. I don't remember what they're, but I'm pretty sure that Canada has more or just as many reported UFO sightings as the States.
Yeah, I think it's like in Alberta, isn't it?
Since 1969, the Mutual UFO Network. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obviously they got.
And I think they're also
usually
seen a lot more around places that have like nuclear weapons.
Research
is it would be interesting to see a UFO. Although I have heard a lot of the things we've watched, a lot of people who see UFOs get cancer. So I'm just Just letting you know.
Yeah, apparently,
You're gonna get radiated.
I mean, it would kind of make sense. Like, oh, I gotta log in. I wanted to do a search to see if there was anything by us that was ever reported. I'm not creating a MUFON account. Fucking FBI scoop my ass up. You live in the woods and you're looking for aliens?
I've had, like I said, I've had definite ghost experiences, but I've never had any sort of alien experience.
Yeah, this is just that little piece I was talking about where they ask him about the bodies. It's basically the most, out of everything that was said, this was kind of the only thing that I guess was new. Okay. The rest of the stuff was, like I said, about the Tic Tacs and all the stuff that had came out several years ago. So this is the kind of the main takeaway.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still in the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Yeah, so, like, that was, I guess, the main takeaway. I mean, there was some other stuff that the other one said, but it wasn't anything that was, like, you know, not heard of before. I wonder if I could find one about that. So in just, you know, search like meta tags. Oh, such Joe Rogan. How could the internet lie?
Violetta, I'm glad to read that you survived cancer once.
Oh, really? Well, I am happy to hear that's we have a friend who's actually currently doing a like a big trip around Europe from Texas. He has sarcoma cancer, and he had done survivorship. He had made it through survivorship the first time. And, yeah. It's you have to be very strong. Do they not just have like a short little like, this is what happened in Zimbabwe?
I don't know.
This is all like 50 minutes long.
Oh my. There's that UFOs in Africa, the school kids who saw the aliens. It's 12 minutes.
Where?
Right there in the middle of the screen.
Oh, the one I was on?
Yeah.
On a sunny afternoon on September 19th, 1994, at about 12:12 p.m. local time in Ariel School in Rua, Zimbabwe.
I think we can trust this guy. The channel's called The African Scientist. So this is science, you guys. If you needed proof that this is real, science.
Something bizarre that completely defies imagination happened.
I thought it was an alien and he had big eyes.
Children had just come out for their break as the teachers had a short.
Oh, that was you?
Oh, yeah.
These young ones, only between 6 to 12 years of age, were playing in the schoolyard, unaware that this day would change their lives forever. 62 of them were playing at the bushy edge of the schoolyard, where they saw something.
I don't think we specifically ever watched like an actual like BBC documentary about it. We've just heard people talk about it.
We've heard it,
That sent them screaming back to their teachers, utterly traumatized by what they had just witnessed. These children consistently described seeing a silver craft of unknown origin that descended from the sky and landed right before their very eyes. They describe creatures with big eyes like ruby balls.
I saw something silver on the ground amongst the trees, and the person in black.
They had big black eyes. That's all I saw. I saw a glimpse. They kind of turned around and stayed.
Yeah, so there was this giant, and I know that what we had watched, basically they had kids draw pictures and they independently interviewed them and stuff, and a lot of them said the same thing.
They basically do grays.
Yeah,
Didn't they?
They basically said it was the ones with the big eyes, big heads, tiny bodies, and big fingers.
Yeah.
Which you have deduced is basically...
So I have a working theory that greys are just humans from the far future that have developed big giant eyes and skinny tiny long fingers to like text on their tiny little cell phones. And I said this once to his like mom's ex-boyfriend, and he's like, that's not possible because there were no cell phones in the 70s. And I was like, that doesn't disprove my theory.
Yeah, there also apparently wasn't spaceships, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Hello, Scon. It's good to see you. Jordan, we're talking about some aliens. I think I would crap my pants if I seen aliens. But
Oh,
I do
yeah.
like you had another theory about what they are, which I thought, is just as accurate as
Do I
anything
have
else.
a theory on what they are?
Well, you had said like the reason they're coming back, or like say it's humans from the future who have undergone, say, changes to become these gray-esque creatures who are coming back because they can no longer reproduce.
No, this isn't my theory. This is
Oh.
just like alien theory. So if you like watch anybody who talks about aliens, basically, yeah, grays have medically evolved to the point where they can't reproduce through like normal sexual means, so they have to come back and like either like harvest organs from humans or like knock up humans with their gray aliens. So because
Or just like they need the untainted genetics of
because they can't
previous
reproduce
humans.
anymore.
But where I would get lost a little bit is like, where does it stop? Like, why wouldn't you go farther back to before Teflon and before the first atomic bomb?
Maybe they have.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, what's that Prometheus movie where the beginning of humanity is when the guy comes to Earth and, like, basically, like, gives up his cellular being to, like, become part of the water, and from that's where humans evolved from?
I'm gonna play creepy background music. Creepy background music. We're gonna rap about the aliens. Better get used to it.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper.
I'm not.
I'm not either. I can't write lyrics, but I can impersonate people who rap.
I find alien theory so interesting. Like, I don't really believe any of it, but it's cool lore. It's fun lore.
Honestly, the thing I always go back to is we can't be the epitome. We just can't. There has to be other things out there that...
Oh, even if it's just amoeba on a rock.
Logically, they would choose a place in time deemed to be the greatest. It's
Delusion of grandeur, yeah.
Like, so the other thing that I had thought about is it's kind of or not thought about, but we've heard, like, we listen to a lot of things. We don't, like Krissy said earlier, we don't pretend to know things. We just look at all the crazy out there and go, maybe crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
And the, like, future tourism or time travel tourism.
Time travel tourism
is one of the options where they said, like, basically, like, this is when humans are fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Right? Nuclear bomb up to, I don't know, 20 years from now when everything's a desert. Who knows? This might be the reason they're coming to this time period more frequently, is because this is when shit goes down,
but
or this is when things collapse.
But then we needed to think about time travel theory, in which it's much easier to travel into the future than it is into the past. And to travel into the past, you would have to be able to harness like the power of like wormholes and shit, versus if you want to travel into the future, you just need to like go really fast. So they have to have developed the ability to harness like wormholes.
The Jeremy Bearimy.
Yeah, the Jeremy Bearimy of it all.
Well, there is I don't know. There's a lot of people have science behind wormhole travel or whatever. Spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, where if something...
Isn't that quantum physics?
Yeah, quantum
Spooky
entanglement.
action
where different things happen across, a invisible plane. But it's interesting. So I get caught up in something. I imagine they would reproduce like bacteria does. No sex, just multiply in good conditions. I work in a lab too long.
That we were actually watching a video this morning about corn in Mexico that's developed a mucilaginous type coating that allows it to self-reproduce, because it's really high in nitrogen. So it produces this mucilaginous, I can't say that word.
Mucilaginous
coating. I don't know. It's somehow tied into the thought that I was having. I'll shut up.
No, I think
I lost the plot.
Violetta was talking about how things reproduce
Yes,
outside of
reproducing in good conditions.
male, female organs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I actually said when we were talking about the spacesuit that they're trying to design for spatial intercourse, that I would assume by the time we like have colonies on Mars that most of it is like an in vitro style manual impregnation method.
What was that Mother of Wolves sci-fi show that we were watching? And she basically like operated a little robot box where the embryos grew.
Oh
inside.
yeah, the 2 robots were sent with the remaining human the DNA
and she basically
to guard.
like kind of like had a box and she like plugged it in like USB style and grew babies inside that box.
It was a good show.
It was a good show.
I do believe it is done.
Oh, we
right?
should probably Raised by Wolves. Great show.
I'm pretty sure. Oh no, maybe it's not done. But I can't remember the last thing that happened. The big worm thing they had to kill.
Yeah,
like,
there was like the tree. She became part of the tree, and then she was like, "Kill me."
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
That's
what I remember.
This guy's all right.
Isn't he dead? I think he got a bit
Well,
crazy.
the tree thing happened at the end.
Yeah.
Ish. Where I don't know, someone gave birth to like a monster tree that was a.
I think. Well, she became.
Secret baby in her box sounds normal to me. Yes, that is science.
It is, yeah.
That's about as much science as goat science, and everybody loves goat science.
Yeah.
Zapatero. Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted?
But yeah, this is a good show.
It is a good show.
3 seasons or 2 seasons? 2 seasons. It's very good. Or like.
Well, Googled.
Like, can I think of what that might be?
Googled.
One of the Milky Way galaxy's most dominant species for thousands of years. Serpent parasite. Oh, is this what Zuckerberg is? Smoking meats?
Googled.
Oh, the Goa'uld or why is it? Why does it
feel like this is from Stargate?
Why does it feel like I know
My
this?
Fran feels tingly.
Gate World. Your
It is from
complete guide to Stargate. Yeah,
That's
the
why.
Goa'uld.
It is from Stargate. That's why.
I knew. I was like, why is this triggering
Yes, we did.
my brain?
We watched all of Stargate.
We stopped
The
halfway
Goa'uld.
through Atlantis because it wasn't as good as
But the Goa'uld are the ones with like
Violetta. It was filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
The Goa'uld. Yeah, I was like, what is that again?
My Fran.
Yes. The lamprey people.
Yes.
Yeah. Gross.
Yes.
Teal'c. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, him. Teal'c.
Yes. My dog. Oh, really? There is something that we reference that I don't think we've ever heard anyone else reference.
It popped in my Fran.
I wonder if it's when the main guy is having like his brain is not working.
Yeah,
like
his brain is being hacked by like an alien species or whatever, and he's just like, it popped into my Fran. And we say that a lot to each other.
I wonder if this is Learn Ancient.
That might be it.
I was driving home from work and the episode just popped into my Fran after thinking about. Yeah, so we say that all the time. Popped into my Fran.
Yeah.
I wonder. We'll
This
see if
might
this
be
is
it.
It's at super speed, by the way. Oh yes, this is the clip.
Colonel,
I think it's somewhere in here.
can you hear me?
His pulse is racing. Daniel, dial the gate.
Sir, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just fine. A little tired, maybe.
A little tired.
Are you sure you're okay? I am absolutely fine. There is nothing Kruvus with me. nose bleeding?
You are fine.
Keep your hands up. Gotta keep your feet moving. And bend your cozars. Keep your cozars bent there.
I am unfamiliar with that word.
What? Cozars? Cozars. Gotta bend your cozars.
Gotta bend your
I believe you're
cozars.
referring to your legs, O'Neill.
Well, apparently I've lost the philatus to speak properly.
The philatus?
Faculatus is Latin for ability. You said you lost the philatus to speak properly.
Nu ani unquietas.
What?
Nu ani unquietas. Hic quabi deum.
Jack, are you reading this? I don't know. You tell me. Well, I don't know. I haven't even been able to associate sounds to the symbols. Do you know what this means? No. And I'm just looking at it, and the words pop right into my front.
Words popped right into my front.
Okay, let's listen to it normal. Yeah, so the things that people remember.
Yeah.
Sounds to the symbols. Do you know what this means? No. And I'm just looking at it, and the words pop right into my front.
Okay, I think we have a new message redacted. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, I think she just deleted it.
Oh, you can delete your own messages? That's gold. Yeah, so I'm going to make this into a command after. Mainly because we have goat now.
Violetta said, when me or my hubby can't remember, they say, it appears to be no fish here, O'Neill.
Freaking O'Neill.
Zapatero. Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted?
Oh, like you tried to put in a link and it did that? I thought I allowed links to work.
How bizarre.
I did at one point specifically select that it was fine for URLs. You can, if you want to put it in Discord, I could find it. I did find a couple of happy stories I thought might be interesting, because Silly Hat Man's always yelling that we're looking at the not happy news. So after years of helping a crow family, a man was left mind blown over their homemade gifts in return.
Aww.
So if you don't know about crows,
I love crows.
They leave shinies and gifts and stuff like that.
If you treat them nice, they'll be nice back to you.
Yeah, so it looks like there were some baby birds and they went outside and they found a bunch of tiny crows on the ground. So this particular person, a 56-year-old Seattle owner, rescued the two chicks that had fallen about 6 years ago, scooped them up, put them back in the nest, and even left out food and water at the base of the tree in case they fell again. Which I've always been told you don't touch birds, right? Because the mom won't take them back. So he then began regularly throwing bird food into his front yard, and the crows apparently took notice. We've been feeding a small family of 4 crows, mated pair, and their 2-year-old kids for several years. Last week, 2 days in a row, they left these gifts, full tabs threaded onto pine twigs. This isn't only generous, it's creative. It's art. My mind is blown. See if X will allow us to view the picture. Oh, if you want to learn the cleverness of
it kind of reminds me.
What?
Of course. But I think if you
God
scroll to the
damn
top of the article, they had a picture in the article.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It reminds me of this story I heard of this little boy who had like developed a friendship with this crow in his neighborhood, and like the crow would follow him around to like school and stuff like that and wait for him while he was at school. And one day he was being bullied while he was at school, and the crow actually like dive bombed and attacked his bully.
Well, this actually says they'll follow along when I take my walks, landing on the wires along the way. The adult male is very amiable and will fly sometimes within feet, swooping by to say, "Here I am."
Aw, I love crows. We had a family of crows in Saskatoon that I tried like really hard to befriend. Like there was a lot of effort on my part trying to be friends with these birds. They ate all the food I put out for them. They never took the shinies. They did recognize me. Like they would, you could tell that they understood I was the person putting out the granola, but that's about as far as it went.
Yeah, we wanted them so badly to, you left a little earring out.
I did. I left them out a
take.
shiny, and I was like, please just take the shiny. Please be my friends. But they ate the food, never took the shiny. Fine.
I mean, you can't always get what you want.
Yeah.
It's like Carl, we've been feeding him for a year.
I'm sure they miss me now.
Another article of, yes, it's happy. It's in the middle ground. It's about animals. So I mean, Church Valley and Hudson Bay in Canada in the non-icy season. Oh, Jinjee's butt. The ice-free months. About 2/3 of the world's beluga whales, about 57,000 animals, migrate to the waters. From the deck of their beluga boat, they maintain underwater microphones to kind of listen to them and stuff. So this is the beluga boat cam.
Got attacked by a murder of crows. That sucks, Jordan.
At least they didn't murder. My mom is deathly afraid of birds because of that as well when she was young. When he worked at A&W, well, you're the French fry man.
Yeah, you got the food.
Oh, this is a live camera of the beluga whales.
Baby beluga in the deep blues. You swim so wild and you swim so free. That's all I remember from the song. Do you know that song?
I don't think I do.
You don't know the song Baby Beluga?
Sitting in the old gum tree?
No, Baby Beluga in the deep blue sea. You swim so wild, you swim so free. That's all I remember from that song.
It would be so cool to drop a camera off the side of your boat and just see all these
Belugas?
whales coming up to check it out. Underwater cam powered by explore.org. My buddy never got stalked at work with me.
I've never been stalked by a bird, but once when I went camping, I did have a squirrel throw pine cones at me. That was an interesting experience.
A squirrel?
Yeah.
Throwing some pine cones.
I was camping at Waskesiu, that's in northern Saskatchewan, and I was walking to the bathroom, and a squirrel took offense to my presence on my walk to the bathroom and ran up a tree and then proceeded to throw pine cones at me. It didn't hit me, but they got really close, and you could tell the effort was definitely there to try to hit me with pine cones.
There can be vicious like that.
Yeah,
I know.
it was like cheep, 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 cheep,
They
and
would
like
sit on the power lines outside my window watching. What did you do?
yeah.
They've probably started passing that down generationally. So if you ever go back there, they're going to be like,
we recognize this man.
It's that one again. I didn't read much about this. I kind of added it towards the end. Just to
Squirrels do that for fun.
Just to be dicks. So fungi could be crucial in storing emissions and fighting climate change, said study. So a new study has found that fungi plays a bigger role in fighting climate change than previously known. Research conducted by an international team of scientists discovered that an estimated 13.12 gigatons of CO2 is transferred from plants to fungal networks annually, which equates about 36% of the yearly global fossil fuel emissions, which is more than China. So that's pretty crazy, right? Like, we've looked at some things about fungus, right? And how I think the average person is closer to a mushroom than we are
we're highly
other
related
things.
to fungus.
But basically, it is trapping a lot of the carbon inside itself. Just, further emphasis of the network of nature that is beyond what we can comprehend.
Fungi are super important to the world.
Yeah, and like Violetta just said, they've found fungus that will eat
Eats plastic, yeah.
which is, we just need to find one that can eat radiation, and we've gotten rid of most of our waste. But the numbers we'd uncovered are jaw-dropping, and when we're thinking about solutions for climate change, we should also be thinking about what we can harness that already exists. Soil ecosystems are being destroyed at an alarming rate through agriculture development and other industry, but the wider impacts of soil disruption communities are poorly understood. When we disrupt the ancient life support systems in the soil, we sabotage our efforts to limit global heating and undermine the ecosystem on which we depend.
We often talk about how like a huge issue here with farming is farmers keep doing the same crop year after year after year after year, and that's why they have to use so many fertilizers, because they no longer change their crops out.
Yeah, you used to have to grow something different every other year to replenish the nutrients in the soil. You couldn't just keep growing canola because you'd be stripping everything out that the canola needs. So then they pump all of the anhydrous ammonia and fertilizers into the ground so they can keep growing the crop that makes the most money.
Fungi can survive radiation.
I did some tests, not much. Oh, Violetta, are you a science?
We have like a legit smart person who hangs out with us.
Legit smart person? Jason, move over. I know you're the champion of the spelling bee, but we've got a sciencer. But, yeah.
Mom, Dad, look at me. I'm the champion of the spelling bee.
Well, they kind of do in some areas.
Some do, some
I think,
don't.
yeah, ethical farming does that, but where we are,
like, you have to understand as well, like, our premier is super pissed about like not being able to use fertilizers anymore.
they get pissed off at the BC ferries for their workers striking for an actual appropriate wage because we can't transport our grain. Like, shut the fuck up. People are trying to survive inflation. Your cash crops can wait, and you can't blame everybody else. I just play in the lab. You're not even supposed to be there. You're just kind of like mixing chemicals. Yeah, I just thought I thought that was interesting because I also had seen something where they're looking at using like hollow mountains to store carbon dioxide as well that will leach into water to dissipate it. I don't know. It's weird. We had read something that they think slowing the rotation of the planet is a good way to stop climate change. You know, just normal things. This was the BC ferries is a harsh job as well. Yeah. Like we care so little about the people that are making the world function. The mail carriers, the shipping, importer, exporter people that work the docks and stuff. Like, my God.
Violet, yeah, I just showed up one day and they can't get
They
rid of
can't
me.
get rid of me.
Yeah, like a real bad rash.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So, a real Moby Dick mythic white sperm whale captured on film near Jamaica. I don't know how exciting this is. I don't personally, like, it's not what got me out of the bed. Like, oh my God, they found him. They found him. Albino
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Fun fact about Moby Dick, I share a birthday with the author.
Also a fun fact about Moby Dick. Wasn't a dick.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, because the Ahab was the...
Yeah. Well, the author of the book is Herman Melville.
Yeah.
My birthday is the same as Herman Melville's and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, mine is Barry Manilow, I think.
Oh.
There's just not muted, but there's no sound. Yeah, so white sperm whale. Very exciting. This was Krissy was the one that kinda...
I saw this article at like 5 a.m, and I was like, oh, weird.
Do you want to read it?
So, basically, this young woman went missing in 2019 at the age of 14, right before she was about to turn 15. Left her parents a note saying like, I'm running away from home, but don't worry, I will come back home again. And just, yeah, like the other day showed up at a police station in Montana and was like, hey, I'm this girl that went missing 4 years ago. Please take me off the missing children's list.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other details there are. Hey, scroll up.
I think
and
that's
see
pretty
ya.
much it. Oh yeah, her mom's like, her reappearance is proof that miracles do exist. I don't think they've really.
So she apparently had high functioning
autism. Yeah.
And this was in Glendale when she was 14.
They haven't really released any details about why she went missing or what she was doing.
It remains unclear how Navarro, now 18, traveled more than 1,000 miles alone to a small town on the border of Canada to identify herself to police. Her mother, yeah, they don't, do you want to maybe scroll? Oh, wait. So
yeah, her disappearance sparked a massive search.
The FBI was involved.
So yeah, it'll be interesting in the days to see if there's any more details released on this story.
Officers said that they were able to verify the identity, and she's been extremely cooperative. I can't even begin to express to you all the pride that I personally have in the men and women here at our police department. Whoever San Diego is. She's very
she said she hadn't been harmed.
Very apologetic to what she has put her mother through and understands she's caused a lot of pain. It wasn't her intention. Hopeful that they can have a relationship.
So yeah, like I said, it'll be like there's really no details released.
So it says her mother had raised concerns at the time that she may have been lured away by someone she met online. Hadn't been harmed. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one,
I think that's
the last disappearance case we talked about was actually
she wasn't being held. She's not being held. She can come once. Yeah, she'd be essentially an adult now. So
yeah, the note said on 1 week before her 15th birthday, I ran away. I will be back. I swear. I'm sorry. That is so interesting.
I'm more than 90% sure that my daughter met this person online.
And she she suspected that they may have been abducted. My daughter's personality is, I don't think that she would have fallen for that. This person probably took a while to.
So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see if more details come to light in the next few days as to like why. Like I hope that she seems to be cooperating, and hopefully they are forthcoming with details about the case, because I think it is important to talk about this stuff so that way people who do encounter this kind of coercion or grooming know what to look out for, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they come out in the next few days with details as to what happened and why she left.
Yeah. Well, the other, like I was saying, the last person we talked about that seen a little girl walking along the highway went missing for a couple days or whatever, and she just came out and said it was all like JK. I wasn't abducted.
But then there was also that case in the States of that boy who apparently had gone missing while walking his dog, and then it turns out that his mother had been like,
keeping him basically. He did run away, but he came back, and she said, if they find you, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
So she said, you have to hide, and
basically molested him for years.
Yeah, they made reference to him having to basically fill the father's footsteps. but they didn't elaborate, and we
On
don't
that.
necessarily want to know
Yeah.
the elaboration. It was it was something that is insane. It's hard to fathom that we live, like, most of us just live like pretty normal people.
Yeah.
And to think that
There's like probably so much shit going on around us that we're unaware of. Like, I think of that one story in Austria where the dad abducted his teenage daughter and forced her into that like little bunkie he built underneath the house, and like had multiple children with her over the course of like 20 years or whatever, right? So
yeah, it's just
there's lots of like I said, like, it's important to have these things talked about so that way people know what to look out for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's where I get lost is why all of a sudden in certain areas of the world they only care about the baby before it's actually brought into this world of chaos.
Oh, we're talking about the States and its pro-life stance.
Well, they're
on
not
shit?
the only ones. We drive by a fucking billboard by us that says choose life your mom did. And the thing is I sometimes wish that their mom hadn't.
Yeah.
Because we only care is so, like, it's so, just so backwards. It's so fucking backwards.
Hi, Scrollock.
Scrollock, good to see you. Yeah, I was looking at the article that you had mentioned about.
Oh, lacrosse?
Yeah.
Are we taking a hard pivot into something else?
Was it this gentleman?
Let's talk about lacrosse.
Was it this gentleman?
Oh, he must have passed away.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a traditional lacrosse stick. Yeah, I guess he was one of the last people to be making traditional lacrosse sticks. This was just something that Krissy had found, but
yeah, it was a video that I had watched.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a Business Insider video.
Oh.
I texted you the link.
Oh.
Which I know doesn't help, but if you just go to YouTube, I would just go to YouTube.
That
works too.
Take me to 4 weeks ago. How Native American lacrosse sticks are crafted?
I mean, it did that came out. Yes, lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport that most of us probably know nothing about.
Well, that was actually one of the only reasons that we thought it might be interesting to mention, if I can find it.
If you just search.
So I used to actually play lacrosse before. Actually, it was probably one of the things that really.
Nope, the one about that one.
3 weeks ago. So I used to play lacrosse, and lacrosse is a great sport. It is hard on the body because it's a lot of running. Obviously, it's kind of like soccer, but you hold the stick upright and there's a net on the top where the ball is, and you cradle it. It's kind of like hockey, but it's actually more violent, believe it or not, and I enjoyed that part of it. But most people don't know about lacrosse.
Bending hickory wood is the key to crafting a traditional Native American lacrosse stick. Alfie Jacques has spent a lifetime perfecting the skill.
That's beautiful.
Can't believe it bent so well.
He's one of the last people in the world who knows how to make them.
I'm still working on it.
I can't believe it bent so well.
Well, yes, it's Steve.
He's Onondaga, one of the Native American nations that invented lacrosse 1,000 years ago.
Here we go.
Yeah, I've held a
They
traditional
call the sport
lacrosse stick.
Dehon Chikwaes, and they believe it was a gift from the Creator. Babies sleep beside their own wooden stick from the day they're born, and players are buried with theirs when they die.
Really?
And in the past 5 decades, there's a good chance it was made by Alfie. Most indigenous stick artisans went out of business when plastic and aluminum replaced wood in the 1970s.
I've never played
The
like
market just disappeared on us.
Alfie managed to stay afloat because his work was legendary. He's crafted more than
So yeah, this is
80,000
the
things
man
by
who
hand.
passed away.
But in 2022, he almost had to stop for good.
Well, I had cancer. And then, of course, chemo beats the crap out of you, so you don't feel good.
We went to the Onondaga Nation to see how, with Alfie's help, this tradition is still standing.
Go ahead, hit it.
Alfie started making sticks from hickory trees with his
Oh,
father back in
sweet.
1961.
He even has a wooden mallet for that.
We didn't have any money to buy one. My dad said, so let's make our own. So it was trial and error right from the start.
He used to chop and saw them
There's
himself.
actually Violetta, I
But
believe.
nowadays, his apprentice, Parker Booth, does most
There's
of the
this.
heavy work.
There's a term that they've recently developed where watching somebody do something creates the same version of satisfaction in your brain. That's why people watch a lot of like cleaning videos because you're kind of like getting that dopamine rush as if you did it.
Speaking of which, Ori Katerina, great YouTube channel.
Yeah, she generally helps people clean like hoarder
houses. Like they're really gross.
or people who have had or who have mental issue or disorders that depression and stuff that makes it hard for them.
I should say like the houses are
yeah. I don't think we've ever actually seen a person. She never.
No, she's never shown any.
She
of the
barely
people.
talks about. She might say like so and so lost their job or their partner passed away, and since then they've been
struggling with mental health issues.
Yeah, and a lot of them you can just kind of see the defeat because of the house, right? Where you like their gaming chair is the only thing that's
we should
clean.
Type it in chat. I think it's AU. Like double check how it's spelled, but yeah, I love her channel. It's so great. AURI. Katerina?
Yeah, don't.
That's not how Katerina spelled it.
I know.
That's her YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I didn't even know. Word. So this is the channel. And it's the dream job. Cleans for free. I mean, she uses it for content, but that's not. She's not like Mr. Beast where she's giving people eyesight for views. She's actually helping people take a place that is, I mean, you can kind of see from the thumbnails.
Yeah.
Uninhabitable. Like.
Oh yeah, play a short.
Here's a short.
Out of town, over the hills and undercover.
I don't know if that's.
And then yeah, she like makes it like perfect for them.
I think the only sponsorship
she's had
is
better health.
Scrubbing. Oh yeah, and
Scrub Daddy.
Yeah, Scrub Daddy. Yeah. But like, so my wife likes to pop sits, right? Like that's kind of like her thing, her like a satisfaction thing. And that Ari Katerina's is like scooping sludge out of sinks and behind toilets and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
she loves it. She's
crazy.
like, oh, it's so gross.
Oh,
I love it. She's like, oh, yum. And I'm like,
she
not
like
yum.
scrapes this like black
sludge.
It is like the alien guy said earlier, a non-human biologic at that point. It's like skin cells and hair and pubes that have become something. It's she's doing something for people that is magnificent.
I've watched a lot of
pimple popping show. That was actually, I mean, all of the articles that I came across for the old Thursday. We do have to run into town and refill our water jugs.
And get snacks.
Get some snacks. We need some snacks.
Yeah, we're snack people.
I think we covered everything. We will tomorrow check out this no egg Reddit.
Oh yes, and tomorrow's meme day.
And it's meme day.
So make sure to post all the memes in the Discord.
Yeah.
So we can go through the Discord memes tomorrow.
And if you guys ever have like I don't know, something that is like, because my news feed is, I guess, apparently algorithmed to me.
Yeah.
I actually sometimes go to
Apocalyptic?
sites in incognito mode, or so that it might give me something else. But if you guys ever come across something interesting, let's say in your area that you don't see talked about, or we might find interesting, I mean, always feel free to, I don't know, I guess links don't always work in here, so Discord is the place where you could post those and we could see them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Violetta, Scrolllock, Jason, Scone, Philip, the Torque, the Trizzle, you know, just the best of the best, always. Thank you for being here. And what was I going to do? Oh, yeah. If you want to, Mr. Jordan, that's Jordan's Twitch. If you want to check that out in the when we're not on, wonderful person. But yeah, have a great day, everybody. Much love to you, and we will post some crap that you can watch. Bye bye.